Welcome to Planning Phase Syndicate. We have a special episode for you today. We've got a spoiler directly from FFG that they said, hey, you want to be part of opening spoiler week? Here you go. We got a card for you. Go ahead and spoil it. So today we're going to have a short little episode where we get to reveal that card just for you. Joining me, of course, is my good friend Alex, the Benchwarmer. How are you today, sir?
Oh, I'm doing well. I'm excited for this. It's a cool card.
We've been sitting on this card for like a little while, and I'm finally excited to be able to share it with you this week. Also joining me is JJ. How are you today, sir?
Doing all right, man. The excitement of going over these spoilers, man. It's like it feels like Christmas, like where you're just trying to unwrap a present so quick because you know it's there. Like, man, it's great.
I know. So this means officially, if you haven't seen some of the spoilers already, this is the official kickoff week for Spoiler Central. So that means if you tune in every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern or 2100 UTC, you are going to catch us live talking about everybody else's spoilers. But today, we've got an amazing one for you. So let's dive right into it. Let's not keep you in suspense any longer. So, ta-da! This is our Twilight of the Republic spoiler. It is a B1 attack platform. It's crazy. Alex, tell us a little bit about the card. Tell us what it is and the rarity of it and all that fancy jazz.
So yeah, it's the B1 attack platform. It is a ground unit. It's a 3-cost red villainy. It's a 5 attack, 2 health, no text, just vanilla unit, separatist droid, and trooper, and it is a common card.
Yeah.
So that hits
yeah,
really, really hard.
So this is like a churn 3 that you could just play out, and when it goes off, it's going to go off. JJ, where did we first see this attack or this platform droid, I guess is what we would call it?
I think the earliest I could think of is episode 1, right? Is the one that I can think of when they come off of the Trade Federation droid, like dropship, and they be right before they run into Jar Jar Binks.
Yep, I think you're right. I think that's the first time we see it. And traditionally, like the way that these platforms look, it's like they have more lively features than the B1 droids themselves, right? Like,
yeah,
like look at my big eyes.
I mean, they were blessed to play in Battlefront 2 as well. Like you can crash into everything so easy.
Yeah. So now I will say with this card, there's a little bit of payoff, right? Like if you could keep this card on the board and they don't kill it, that next turn you're swinging in for 5 damage, and that's just crazy. Also, if you're running some sort of an ambush card, you can ambush with this. Specifically, the ECL base just feels really good. Our current set of leaders, there's some stuff that works with this, right? Like you can't use this with specifically your Grand Inquisitor on this turn, but you can wait until you bring your Grand Inquisitor out until everybody's all done, and then be like, oh, hey, by the way, I've got this platform droid, and I'm going to I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to ready it and attack with it before you can kill the stupid thing. Which I don't know, like the value of the 5 attack for 3 cost is just crazy. I think this is the most high power card we've seen for 3 cost outside of maybe Boba Fett.
Yeah,
Boba Fett kind of rivals that, I think, a little bit, right?
Well, it's also like a super cheap timely intervention carrier, right? Mm-hmm. For 4 resources, just ambush it out. It's stronger than like an escort skiff and everything else that you ambush out at 4, unless it's like you already have Zuckuss on the field 4-lom kind of thing.
Yeah.
Granted, it's probably going to die, but it hits really hard.
One of the things I like about it too is that it carries a trooper keyword. So if you're running this in a general take list, it does get that extra bonus experience. It's eligible for that, so that's a nice thing there. Also goes well with some of the other trooper keyword cards that kind of get a buff from having other troopers on the field there. But yeah, really, really cheap. I like this a lot. It's definitely going to be a staple for a lot of red decks. It's cheap. It hits really hard. And it's just perfect for ambush.
You know, we originally, when we originally talked, and this is like a couple of months ago on the show about IG-11, right? When IG-11 came out, we're like, oh, this is an auto include and red decks, and now we're not seeing a lot of that. This one though feels a little bit different because this one comes out with a resource cheaper, 2 resources cheaper, and it hits harder, right? I don't know. I think the more exciting thing is that we're going to be getting other stuff with this. Do you guys want to go over the other spoiler FFG just gave us and talk about how it relates to this?
Yeah, let's do it.
So, if you watched FFG socials, you were able to see Maul. We are not spoiling Maul, but we were given Maul as a, hey, by the way, this actually works with your unit. So, if you think about this, like, Maul is just so much value. I'm so excited to see him. I'm happy he's red. I'm even happy with the artwork. I'm more happy with the stat line because it's a 666. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, FFG, thank you, I guess. Like, I need somebody to make me an alt art Slayer Maul card. Let somebody do that just so I can have an alt art Slayer Maul card. And if you don't know, I'm big Slayer and big Metalhead fan here. So just a 666 is great. Alex, why don't you tell us a little bit about what Maul does, and then we'll kind of talk about how he relates to our card that we got.
Yeah, so as you mentioned earlier, Maul is a red villain card. He is, the keywords are Force and also Underworld, which is nice. So it works with various other Underworld things, including himself, which is kind of funny. So as an action, you can exhaust him, and you attack with a unit, and it gains Overwhelm for this attack. And then his leader side, like you said, he's a 6/6 for 6, which is clever. He has Overwhelm, and then each other friendly unit also gains Overwhelm. So it's kind of like, your hero Boba, where it's like all the guys with keywords get this, or like one of those like First Light, right? Like just all your units just get this. So, he's he hits really hard, and he doesn't care if you have Sentinels because he's still going to do damage to you.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Which I think this is just so good, right? Like this I feel that this leader is very good. We'll talk a little bit about how he interacts with the card, but JJ, so this is Maul before or after he lost his legs?
This is after, because he's clearly in the throne room in Mandalore when he's taken over Mandalore and is the leader along with Death Watch. So yeah, that is post cyborg Maul, I guess, right?
Yeah. The only thing that would have been cooler is if we would have got syndicate, some sort of syndicates as like a keyword. That would just be totes my goats, because then we could be like, hey, look, we're the syndicate podcast. They're doing something for us. But I'm happy he's got Force though, right? Like this is nice that we have another leader that has Force. Not that we don't have other leaders that have Force, but he comes out so much earlier than Palpatine. But the ability to do the action. So the reason we were given this is because obviously you could play this B1 attack droid, right? And as long as it lives, you can use Maul's action for the next turn. And now you could kill something. Whether and most things at 4 cost, or that at the 3 costs that you're putting down outside of maybe a few Han things, for Han 2, you're going to be able to wipe them off the board and still do damage to base.
Yeah.
It is kind of annoying that it just straight up defeats like my Emperor's Royal Guards with Palpatine.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That fifth health is so critical, and then this thing just comes over there. It's just like, nah, whatever.
Yeah, and when you start factoring in stuff like Fallen Lightsaber that helps deal damage before you swing, or the Dark Saber, you're guaranteeing that extra damage just going straight into the base. You can just overrun something that is that's low attack. Typically, some of those units are just raid units. You can easily target them and then just swing into the base after all that. So, like so much utility for what Maul can do.
Yeah. The other thing is to note, you are not able to use ECL or Timely on the Maul action. You can use it with the droid, but you cannot use Maul and Timely in the same turn. Thank God, because the last thing we need is for you to have an overwhelming ambush unit that does that comes out as a 5/2. Like that's
See, you can
for 3
do that.
costs.
You just have to flip Maul Leader over,
Yeah, okay, there you go.
and then you can start ambushing things with all, and they all have overwhelm.
Yes. Which is just crazy though, right? Like that's just like I don't know, like that's just to me this leader feels like it makes this card feels like it was made for this leader, I guess. Which is a little funny, right? Because the picture they have of Maul is not when he was dealing with droids, like from episode 1 or even maybe episode 2, right? Like this is like Maul from a whole different like timeline, and I don't know. It's funny because the separatist keyword is not there for Maul, even though technically Maul was a separatist, like back in the day, right? Like, and it makes me wonder if we're gonna get a Savage leader reveal at some point too. I don't know. We did a leader analysis, right? We did a way too early predictions. I'll link it in this video. You're welcome to go back and watch it for that. Anything else you guys want to touch on the spoiler?
Oh no, I'm just it's cool that FFG was just like, yeah, you guys are semi legit enough to take a spoiler.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to more spoilers that come out for this pack. They're definitely adding in another layer to the game with all these token units now, and having a great aggressive leader in Maul. It's just going to be really fantastic builds that you can do now with all these units here.
Yeah. Yep, and I again will thank you. Yes, thank you very much, FFG. Thank you, Xander, for reaching out to us and including us in this round, in this season of spoilers. We're very excited to be part of the content creators that get to spoil things. So, yeah, I don't know. With that being said, thank you all for joining us. If you have not heard of us before, and this is the first time you ever seen one of our videos, we have links right in the description of the video where you can find us on Discord, you can find us on Facebook, you can find us on YouTube, and you can check out all of our other content. We have 21 unlimited episodes plus some deck techs. We also have a full catalog of X-Wing episodes if you ever want to go back and listen to some X-Wing stuff. So either which way, Unlimited is a great game. We're excited to be able to reveal this to you. Thank you. Have a good day, and we'll see you on the flippity flop.
Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks for listening.